Go, Johnny.
You're Beyond the Basement with Jim Jam, Johnny, and Yeti, where we talk about all kinds of stuff. Aliens, cryptozoology, new tech, space. Yeah, we get into it, guys.
All of it.
This week, we're going to be talking about a jetpack guy. We're going to be talking about the moon. We're going to be talking about a freaking battery that seems awesome. And some other stuff. Fort Hood, something. And
Central Fort Hood.
So what y'all been up to, man? Y'all doing good?
Oh yeah. Been watching a lot of movies, hanging out.
I watched some indie wrestling last night, which I'm not going to get into detail, which I already got into it with the guys off recording, but there's almost a knife fight. That's all I'm going to say. It was fucking wild.
That was wild. It was a wild story. But first, want to just let y'all know, go check out the Horror Basement podcast. Yeti and Angela killed it with a double feature. They're reviewed a double feature of Dogtooth and
Little Evil.
Little Evil. Yeah, I knew that. I watched both of them. I wasn't there though, so you probably like the episode even more because I wasn't there.
It was a good time. It's getting plenty of listens and shit. So I guess people are liking it. I mean, it was cool just to kind of sit down and be a nerd for a while. Like Johnny wasn't here, and then Jimmy fucking left us to our own devices. So we really went way out in left field and just nerded out for a while. It was a good time. Y'all should definitely check it out.
Yeah. Just want to throw that out there real quick. I've been to the movies the last 3 weeks. The movies here in Tennessee opened. The theaters did. So I've been to the movies every week, at least once. Yeah, just once every week because there's not that many movies out to go see.
Yeah.
So I went and watched that Russell Crowe movie. Can't even think of what it is now.
Unhinged?
Yeah, Unhinged. That was pretty decent. It was just nice to get back into the theaters and see a movie like that where, a little suspense, and then watch. Gosh damn, I can't think of any movies I watched now. Oh, the New Mutants. It's an X-Men movie. And I don't know anything about X-Men, like as far as comics go. I just know that I liked the cartoons when I was growing up, and I liked the movies. Because I didn't read a whole lot of comics. I just like comic book heroes and characters. But that was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was, I would say, almost like horror light. Because it was a PG movie, like a PG-13 movie. And they had powers, but if you would have taken the X-Men away, it would have just been characters with powers. Because X-Men were kind of mentioned, but weren't. And one of them was like a werewolf.
Well, hey, it says it is action, horror, sci-fi.
Yeah, well, sci-fi.
The powers and shit, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, you could have taken them powers and been anything. You know what I'm saying? Fantasy. But they were based off their fears. You know what I'm saying? It was whatever the one character used your fear against you. And there's this big ass fucking cloud bear, and which was their fear. But it was pretty decent. And then I just went and watched Tenet. T-E-N-E-T, Tenet. And that movie was about time travel. And
you said it in our group chat that it made you think.
Well, it was more you were thinking the whole time, like it's because time travel. You know what I'm saying? And, oh man, it just like you go through a machine, and then if you're going into the past, you're reversed. So all the movements are reversed that you see. Like, it's just weird, man. It's just like, so you started thinking like, well, this one's and then they both had two teams that could cross each other and they could see each other. But like one team would see the other team in reverse and the other team would see the other team in reverse, but they were moving forward. You know what I mean? Like, it's confusing as fuck when you're watching. So like me explaining that to you, you're like, what the fuck? You'd have to watch the movie. But it's a 2.5 hour movie, so I haven't watched a 2.5 hour movie in a long time. You know, as far as that I hadn't already seen. You know, like a new movie, and it's just nice to get back. It's just nice to get back in the theaters and seeing movies. You know, like I really enjoy the movies.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, I mean that's all I've been up to. So.
Yeah. We've been hanging out. The boy he wants to watch horror movies and stuff. So we've been kind of looking at movies that are, you know, don't have stuff that's like too out there, too you know, adult, and putting him onto some stuff. So we watched I watched Session 9 with him. You guys ever seen Session 9?
No.
And that's one of my favorites. It's I think it's on Netflix. But it's got oh man, Horatio
What?
from that cop show.
CSI Miami, Horatio
Yeah.
Kane, David
Yeah,
Caruso.
He's so good in this movie, and it's a spooky, like a asylum kind of movie, and it's all shot in Danvers. No, yeah, it's
Yeah.
Danvers.
The residents of Danvers, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
So what do you think about it?
He liked it. He thought it was really good. Then we backed that up with Creepshow 2.
Oh yeah. Creepshow too.
And he loved the first one.
Yeah.
He liked the second one, okay, but he really liked the first one. We watched Creepshow and something else the other day.
Have you showed him Silver Bullet?
Not yet.
Because I don't think that's too adult. You know what I'm saying? Because I watched it when I was a little kid.
Basically, if there's not any like full frontal nudity or fucking in it, we're
there's
good.
No nudity in Silver Bullet.
Yeah.
There's definitely no nudity in Silver Bullet. No, because you know Silver Bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no nudity in there, but he might want a freaking badass wheelchair. So you might not want to show him the movie because after seeing that gas-powered wheelchair, I really want him one. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just because it would have been fucking cool.
It'd been pretty fucking rad.
And if anybody else got any suggestions for his kids kids movie, horror movie, but yeah, you know.
Yeah, man. What movie would you suggest watching with young horror fans? Because I think it's important to.
Has he seen? It's probably a given, and I'm sorry for interrupting. Monster Squad.
No, not yet. We haven't got that. We haven't got there yet.
Okay.
I don't think I've even seen that.
Really?
What?
So that'd be cool. Yeah.
That's a really good movie.
Yeah, I've
What
heard
is
a bunch of good stuff about it.
What's the one? My Next Door Neighbor's a Vampire.
Friday Night.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent one. I like that. See, like as we were as kids, we was watching Lost Boys and Friday the 13th. So.
Yeah, we were gonna watch Lost Boys a couple weeks ago, but then decided to watch something else because.
I mean, there is a pretty brutal scene where the dude bites into that guy's head like an apple. But I don't know how you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's dumb, and it's like this super American thing that it's like we don't want them to see any titties, but like heads rolling is just fine, and it's fucking dumb, right? It's completely fucking retarded, but like that's the American way, you know. Blood and guts and gore and violence is and like I talked to shout out to the dungeon at Southland. I talked to the guy there, Jason, a lot, and he's got a kid about my kid's age, and we horror parents, and we're both kind of on the same page. It's like, yeah, it's fine, blood and guts and gore to an extent, is fine, but like you don't want them to see, nudity or sex or anything. And it's I don't understand it, but I'm that's where I'm at. I don't disagree with it, but I don't fucking get it.
No, but you shelter him from boobs right now, and when he gets to the age where he first sees them, his mind's gonna be
completely blown. Yeah.
yeah. So it might be a good thing, you know.
Hey, you never know. But
Yeah,
anyways.
that's that whole. You could desensitize him on it, or you could just let him like find him on his own and be like, "Fuck
yeah.
yeah!"
Yeah.
Come home and tell you that. Oh my
Like,
God, Dad.
when we were kids, which was the '80s, my friend, and this is a fucked up. We snuck. He found his dad's porn stash, and they had like an upstairs attic that you could like walk up into, and you know what I'm saying, stand up. It was floors and all that. He had an old '70s fucking porn stash, like
Nice.
a lot of fucking. And he's like, dude, we could sneak them out and put them in the woods. So
I
we
think we
snuck
all
like
did that.
fucking so many of them. It's like he had like a collection.
Them probably could be worth money now, and y'all's asses done took them in the woods and
Yeah,
fucked them all up and shit.
Dude,
and they just get wet. Like it's not like we put them in like a box or something to have them to where they survive.
Oh, I'm
just-
sure they got wet.
Oh, they did. They did. They pages. Yeah. They're ruined.
me and my dad had a thing where like I'd go steal all his magazines, and then as soon as I was out of the house, he'd go steal them back and put them in a new hiding place, and I'd go find them and steal them. And yeah, that was just like, personally, I have a Hustler in the top of my closet that's like 10 years old. But like, we were cleaning out the closet, and my wife was like, "Why don't you just throw that away? You have a phone." And I was like, "No, because that's not for me." I'm carrying on an American tradition.
and that's the thing. He's not carrying on like a nice porn mag, the Playboy. He's like, nah, fuck that. I'm giving them.
No.
I'm giving my kid.
He
a
gonna open up
Hustler.
like,
Straight Hustler.
Yeah, it's gonna be like in your face.
My favorites were all, like when I was it was always like Penthouse, Gallery, and Hustler. Like Playboy was fine. Like as a teenager, I actually did read some of the articles in Playboy.
I would read the
There was some
jokes.
shit in there. Yeah, the jokes and the little cartoons and stuff. Those are always good.
Yeah, I used to have a subscription to Playboy.
Well, see, and if you had a subscription to it, you would actually read the articles
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you was paying for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh well, damn, that's actually a really good article.
because hey, my naive mind was thinking that one day Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera was going to pose.
Yeah.
It never happened.
It never happened. You hope. Yeah, man. I don't go that far, but my dad had a subscription to Playboy, so like they'd come in and he'd be at work, and I'd open it and fucking go through it, and then I'd just put it back in a little black plastic bag and act like nothing ever happened. I was a horrible fucking child too, so I mean.
We have to lighter trying to seal it back.
Nah, I just folded that motherfucker over and laid it on the coffee table.
He probably
one page sticking to the
Huh.
page not quite open.
What the fuck happened to my
Just that
magazine?
little bit on it. Anyways, all right, we'll stop talking about that.
Yeah.
Let's move forward.
I got a new segment I want to fucking throw out here. Because we used to have question of the week and that kind of fell off. So I want to start kind of a weekly discussion of this is just things that, I don't know. I guess I'll just go ahead and steal the title from Family Guy. So like these are things that just grinds my gears right now. I got one is Reels on Instagram. You guys seen this shit?
Yeah,
I knew that it existed, but I haven't participated in Reels.
Yeah, negative. I will not. It's just like, and there's like some people that I follow are just like doing all this like TikTok cringe on my fucking Instagram, and then like halfway down I'll get a horizontal slidey thing of suggested reels I should watch. I'm like, no, I'm not watching any of this goddamn cringe. You know, like I thought that we were fucking safe from all that retardation because we're on grown up social media like fucking Instagram. But no, that weird Chinese, and it's all these chicks in the K-pop and the fucking, I don't understand it. It's like, it's so fucking, and I get it. I'm like old man yells at cloud right now, but god damn it, keep cringe is bad. It's no good. Stop making cringe content. Speaking of cringe, oh, go ahead.
No. If the suggestions, like when Instagram started doing the whole, you can't look at older posts, or they used to recommend, like when I would go, because I'll scroll through Instagram, but I don't get on there as often as a lot of people, you know, but now I don't see the older posts because I didn't get on there that often from the people that I follow. So I would scroll through and there might be something there that's like 2 or 3 days old from someone. Now I don't see that because it has suggestions. I don't care about your fucking suggestions of what other people like. You know what I'm saying? I would already follow them.
Yeah.
If I wanted to follow them. You know, I don't search out people to follow on Instagram either. So I don't know. It just, I don't like it. So I do it less.
And I got another thing that just kind of came from Instagram because I saw it on there. Here in the fall, white people have this thing where they go pay someone to pick fruits and vegetables. Like my wife, her family is very like connected white, like very very cream cheese white. You know what I'm saying? So like, she's like, oh yeah, well my cousin was talking about going to the apple orchard and you give them money.
You're talking about they're basic. They're just fucking, they're basic.
Yeah, super fucking basic. Basic like non-gloss white.
Non-gloss
And
whites.
it's just like,
it's like fucking, it's like, look, man, because she was talking about wanting to go to like the berry thing.
I go apple picking. I'm like, look, honey, you go do that, okay? Because you are paying someone to be a migrant worker for a day. Like, for real. Okay? My people have been doing that shit for pennies on the dollar for decades. I'll be goddamned if I go and pay some fucking cracker to pick his fucking harvest for him. No. Fuck that. That is offensive. It is deeply fucking stupid. You kiss my fucking ass.
And I wouldn't say that's all white people. I'd say that's white women. And a lot of women think, because I don't know if it's the photos, is it the photo opportunities that, if we can go pick our own apples, it's like, do you make apple pies a lot? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand, like, you want to pick a fresh apple and eat it.
Yeah.
But you could also try to, like, I don't know, have apple trees, or I don't know.
I mean, I don't know, just go to a fucking farmer's market, buy fresh apples.
Well, they're not fresh. I mean, come on, the farmer's market, they're buying it off a major produce company, and then they're bringing it to the farmer's market, acting like they had a farm to sell it on the farmer's market. I don't know if y'all knew this, but yeah, farm market stuff really isn't locally grown, a lot of it. So it might be locally grown, but it's not. It's still commercial produce. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can see that. There's a few small farms, like small local farms here, that sell it at farmers markets, but I'm not.
See, if
I'm
you
not
get lucky to
find that out.
Yeah, you get lucky on that, but like, people will go to like Kentucky to the Amish farms and buy pallets of produce, and then come back and sell it here for a profit.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. But the apple picking, like, I could see if you want to make apple pies or fried apple pies.
Yeah, or if you're gonna make cider or something like that.
Yeah, like, I can understand that. Like,
Or you
but
just-
I think
yeah.
it's you just like eating fresh apples. I don't know, with
I
no
don't know.
wax on them. I mean, maybe is that what?
I don't know. And they're like, oh, it's cheaper to go out and pick. Yeah, I was like, yeah, because you're paying for part of it with your fucking labor.
Yeah.
You know? You ain't tricking me, motherfucker. And yeah, it is. It's not white people. You're right. It's white women. And I have never in my life met a dude who was like, of his own accord, was like, you know what? I think I'm going to go apple picking today. I'm going to go pay somebody to pick some apples because I can't buy them in a bag at a fucking store.
Well, and that's the case with the pumpkin patch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really hear a lot of men, or I've never had, be like, make the suggestion of going to a pumpkin patch. Now, granted, you usually have kids, but there are women that just go to the pumpkin patch so that they can get the photos, which, hey, that's where we're at. Social media is big. People like getting nice photos.
Yeah.
Fine, understand. But no men that I know of go in a group to go to the pumpkin patch.
No. And if a dude suggests going to a pumpkin patch to his wife or his girlfriend or whatever, it's because she's fucking used Inception magic on him weeks beforehand. So
Or
when they
he's
have
just trying to get the upper hand. It's a nice.
yeah, or it's just like, oh, this will make her happy. Let's go do this.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's how
hey.
I ended up going.
hey, y'all, let's all three go to a pumpkin patch.
The magic. Yeah, he got fucking con. Yeah, Jim. I don't know. I mean, you think we could all get on the hayride together?
Hell
Sit
yeah.
on the same side?
Dude, I went to a fucking pumpkin patch in Georgia last year, and I totally went on the hayride.
Yeah.
And because I
Pay for it.
got a kid, so we went on the fucking hayride, and they had like badass pumpkin salsa there, and then they had
I'm not
they
doing
had
the
like
pumpkin
funnel
patch,
cakes
bro.
and shit. But like, yeah, I would have never been like, hey, let's go do that.
Yeah, because like we went. There's one here somewhere. But they got
I
like
think it's called
peanuts.
Granddaddy's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, there's one in Shelbyville. Or
Oh,
somewhere around Shelbyville. They got like bull peanuts, and they sell their little wares, and they got a little
Yeah.
pet too. And hey, it's not a bad thing. They even had a zip line.
Wow.
Yeah, so like a little. I mean, it was a kid's
I
zip
mean,
line.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
still, it's like I can see why people go, but men don't suggest it.
Yeah, once you get there, it's
But
like,
I
hey,
know
this
it.
is pretty all right.
Yeah, but once you get there, you're like, yeah, the family's having fun. I mean,
oh, it's always fun when we go.
yeah, but you never suggest it unless you're trying to get on the good side.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Also, I'd like to point out that I've never heard of these apple picking places or berry picking places having funnel cakes or fucking hay rides or neat stuff like that. No, it's just you're just out there fucking paying to work.
in an orchard.
Yeah, it's like an internship to be a migrant worker.
Is it required to wear flannel in an apple orchard? Because I just picture everyone in fucking flannel, bro.
I believe if you don't have flannel on, you have to have the like white khakis. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Hey.
A polo shirt.
Hey, Yeti or Amy said you got to wear duck boots too, or muckalucks in an apple
What is
orchard.
that?
What the fuck is that? That's too white for me.
What are duck boots?
I said, "What the fuck is that? That's too white for me."
What are duck boots?
Hold on.
That's with the flannel.
I'm just picturing somebody sticking their feet up ducks' asses.
All I can picture is the Uggs, because I have no
It's
fucking
the
clue what.
Or I'm thinking like
Oh.
waiters.
Because
Yeah.
I'm not. Oh yeah, the
Hey.
rain boots.
Hey,
Yeah.
look right here, y'all.
Oh yeah, I know. Okay, yeah. I got
Those.
Oh yeah. Those hiking boots that you wear like just to go do quote unquote outdoorsy things for Instagram.
Shit, waiters.
That's stuff you got to do for Instagram, outdoor stuff. What was
Yeah,
the
they
other
look
ones
like they're
called?
making feet wet.
They're the high.
Oh yeah,
Luck Lux.
Buckalux. If you just type in
But
MUK,
yeah, so
them on the
but
top
I,
are kind of
I
like
mean,
fins.
it's probably the reason why I don't have a
oh,
girlfriend or
that's not the
anything
ones I'm talking
because
about.
I'm over here making fun
They're
of this
like
shit.
the, you know,
Probably
the
doesn't
shit
help.
waiters at the farm. You know,
I
the
mean,
rubber ones
I
that
don't
come
know.
up to you
I'm-
almost knee.
I'm happily married, and I make fun of my wife for this shit like
Yeah.
every year.
Well, you do that afterwards. See,
No.
you got to get the lady,
Look like-
then make
go
fun of
back,
her.
go back. No.
Ah,
I'm
Hey.
in reverse here, Yeti.
subtle but
The-
important difference.
These are the other ones she's talking about.
Them are the boots that you wear when you work in a factory
But they have
that
to be
has
embroidered
food
with your initials.
and you clean and with a water hose.
Yeah, that's
That's
what
what
those
them
are.
are. Yeah. Or you waiters is what they're called. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that you don't get all your shit wet, even though you still get your socks wet because
Mm.
water goes down into your boot and it doesn't matter.
or the rabbit hunting boots when you're hunting swamp rabbits.
All right. So we'll move past all this.
Yeah,
What
That's fun.
is everybody else's opinion on apple orchards and pumpkin patches? They're fun when you get there. No. Yeah. Anyways. Let's move on to here's something interesting. An airplane pilot, spots a person wearing a jetpack and flying at 3,000 feet. And from what I understand, 5,000 feet is a mile or close to a mile or something like that. I didn't like what I heard. I didn't research that.
a mile is 5,280 feet.
Yeah, so he's over half a mile high. This guy's flying through the air, and it's pretty fucked up, man.
And he's buzzing LAX too. Like, it's not like he's out, you know, somewhere where a plane just kind of crossed his path. Nah, this motherfucker's around the LA airport, one of the busiest airports in the nation, just chilling with his fucking
And he's
super
like,
powerful jetpack.
and 300 yards away, about 300 yards away from the plane.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, 300 yards isn't close to someone, but 300 yards from a massive ass freaking passenger jet plane that's
Yeah, it's pretty
huge.
close. When you
It's
got the
close.
whole fucking sky to yourself.
Yeah,
know?
like,
Hey, my question is, how do they do a jetpack and not burn the person's legs?
I'm sure there's like a shroud that goes down between the boosters and the legs. See,
I'm
what
going-
I'm,
Go ahead.
there's so I was watching a video about this earlier. Just it's a little because it's hard to it was hard to find anything on this outside of like the same 2-minute clip
Yeah.
of the same goddamn information. But like apparently jetpacks that powerful are very rare, only made by a handful of companies, and none of them are commercially available.
Yeah, and
Like-
that's what I'm thinking. Like, do you not have to freaking register jetpacks? Like, with you know what I'm saying? Like, if your company makes them, wouldn't you have to register them and register the people that pilot them so that you know and you can investigate things like this?
Yeah, and if it's not a commercially available product, then who's it available to, and who is this jackass out there buzzing the airport? It's all like it's cool and it's funny, but it's also really weird. It's like one of those pictures that gets more and more weird the longer you look at it. You know, it's like that.
Yeah, and like this article, it says there's jetpacks in development that can reach altitudes of up to 12,000 feet.
Fuck
with
that.
With price tags as high as $500,000.
Hey, I
Well,
found these
no.
right here, but these are the ones that are available to anybody, and these are what does it say? Turbine based fan system.
Is that for skydiving or something? Like when
It's
you jump
supposed
out of a
it
plane
just
and then
it just says Jet Force Black Diamond Tour Pack. So I guess I don't know. Maybe it.
like I'm thinking like you jump out of a plane in that and you can move around with it. I don't know though. I
I
mean,
don't know. Maybe it's for like those guys who have wingsuits and shit, like the wing suits.
yeah.
They
So that's
jump off
but you
stuff.
still gotta have a parachute. Like
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. Like 3,000 feet is pretty high to be like, up there with your dick out, pretty much.
Here we go.
yeah, see, look how massive that thing is.
Yeah, I think they weigh something like 400 pounds. I mean, that's a
Wow,
lot of goddamn
400?
thrust. Yeah.
400 pounds. Like how would you even carry that on your back? Like you wouldn't be able to lift it.
I'm sure there's something like where you.
Holding you and you land back on it.
Yeah. Otherwise, your squat game would have to be on point.
Well, my thing is, and there's probably not many people that can pilot these jetpacks. You
They
know what I'm
can't
saying?
be super simple.
Yeah, and you got to have the money and the experience. So, military is the first thing that anyone, or at least me, that I would think of would be involved.
It almost
Or
looks like that.
military-
So there you go. You think that guy?
military
You think someone like
subcontractor.
that was down 3,000 feet above or in the air?
That's what I'm saying. Like to be 3,000 feet, it's someone that would be well known. You know what I mean, in the community that flies jetpacks. They know that can get that high and that own a jetpack. I mean,
but the FAA is still like, we don't have any fucking idea.
Because more than likely it was military and it was, you've seen it, you can announce that, but shut the hell up on every other detail.
Yeah, or you see in like I think it's the Mayan ruins. There's this
the guy
figure
with
carved. It looks like he's wearing a jetpack and a helmet. So like, what if it wasn't even a dude on a jetpack? What if
alien
that was like a
jetpack guy?
scout? Yeah, alien jetpack guy. Or okay. Here we go. All right. So the mind is a very tricky thing, and it tries to make sense of things. All right. That's like if you look at a hodgepodge pattern or like a tree or something, you can see like faces in it where there's no faces. Your brain makes those connections with the shapes and stuff. I don't even know what the fuck that's called, but yeah, it's that. And so they saw something unexplainable outside the window of the plane, and their brain was like, "That was a guy with a jetpack."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see that. I could see what you're saying on that.
Or if you subscribe to like the more like the less nuts and bolts, more like Jacques Vallée psychic experience thing, it could have been an entity breaking through a dimensional barrier there, and cloaking itself in that man with a jetpack facade to make contact, because that was the way the pilot's brain could really process it. I don't know, man. It could be something.
Well, my thing is with this, it's a big red flag on how the FAA is it the FAA? Is that what they are?
Yeah.
I was almost like the FFA, and I'm like, no, that's not the Future Farmers of America.
We raise hogs and
why would they be involved?
Track planes.
How they don't know because of the security reasons, the impact that it could have on if someone could fly that high next to a plane and just one little simple bolt could be shot. one little, you know what I'm saying? Any apparatus could just take down, which is, granted, anything could anyways with drones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but a drone would be harder to get close to a plane, but I mean, granted, maybe you could attach something to a drone that could shoot something, but I don't know. It just, how do they not know?
Yeah. How did I?
I mean, come on. What are you covering up? Like, there's some other thing there.
Could you imagine a fucking jetpack detachment? Like a fucking C-130 flies over an area, opens that big bay door in the back, and out drop like fucking 20 dudes on jetpacks. You know, they're going to be harder to hit, and they're going to have that split second. You're not going to have the lag between the drone and the controller back stateside or wherever the hell the drone controller is. They have that split second timing, and you don't have the disconnect, the ethical problem of having a robot kill people.
Yeah.
You just have dudes in fucking fancy gear just picking motherfuckers off from the sky and flying a jetpack and looking rad doing it.
Then they come back in, just swarm back in,
Yeah.
get back
yeah.
on the plane, and fucking they're gone. Or yeah, just have another plane that's following, trailing back, and then it's like, all right, get in this position, and they just, you know what I'm saying? You got this much time, boom, boom. I mean,
Yep.
possibility. I won't put anything past any kind of government, to be
Yeah.
honest, and the technology that they're looking forward to, you know?
You saying you don't
Yeah.
believe in your government?
No, I'm talking, I believe in my government. I believe that they will come up with the most fucked up shit that they can happen.
Yeah.
Can happen to people.
I believe you can't trust a goddamn one of them. Is what I believe. I believe they're
I
all
mean-
shady, underhanded reptilian pedophiles.
And well, I'm talking about the military here, so I don't know
Oh.
about the military. Yeah.
Oh well, I mean,
But-
I think you start getting humans once you start, getting into like the actual,
Yeah.
generals down, but above them, the political arm of the,
Yeah.
the like,
Political
Yeah.
shit. But the military, they're always trying to come up with advances, and I love the military because, I mean, I want to be safe while I live here. You know, as far as other countries invading this area. So I'm a supporter of the military. But
yeah,
I know that they're trying to come up with shit that we don't know about, and that can, and they hide a lot of stuff. I mean, who don't?
Yeah.
If you're
The
too
military-
naive to understand that, then
yeah. The military and their research teams are they're pretty
Yeah.
rad. But my thing was just the people that are really pulling the strings above that.
Oh. yeah, fucking
That's where the
understand.
evil comes in.
exactly.
I just wanted to make sure everybody else understood that. I wasn't.
Yeah. Not this in the military, trust me.
Yeah, well, do not disparage.
Politicians, on the other hand, fuck them.
Politicians are all fucking evil.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. You show me a politician that gives a shit about you, and I'll show you one gullible motherfucker.
Yeah, especially career politicians.
Damn right.
We're not going to get into that. But here's some. Oh, just played this video. Didn't mean to. Let's go into the moon. This come out this week, and it's everywhere. When you search it, the Earth is making the moon rust. You just put Earth moon rusting, and you'll find articles on all the websites, major news websites. But
If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see one of the articles from NASA.
yeah, and the thing, this right here, the Indian space probe that they sent up, Indian Space Research Organization, Chandrayaan 1 orbiter. I don't know. I know I butchered that, but
Yeah.
it revealed that the poles had water deposits on it. To an extent or whatever, that they carried particles, and well, now they're realizing that that the moon's rusting because there's iron on the moon, as we all know, but the moon shouldn't rust because of Is it hydrogen? Is that what?
There's hydrogen there that's protecting it, and there's not enough oxygen
Yeah.
to cause rust.
And with those solar flares and everything, there's no oxygen. But what they're finding is that the moon is rusting, and it's because Earth and the magnetic field, when the solar winds, when the moon's full, it passes by the Earth in a full form, and the magnetic field from the solar winds blows, and it covers the moon. This magnetic field that's how massive the magnetic field is and how important it is to us. But it encapsulates the moon or part of it, which causes a little bit of oxygen to be on the moon, and weird shit like dust particles floating in the air for no reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a windbreak from the solar winds that lets it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's causing it to oxidize, and there's rust forming.
There's also a theory that it's being struck by very small, like, meteorites, and when they hit, it's enough to like free the water molecules from their like space or wherever they're at, like breaks them up, and then the heat is enough to vaporize it and release the oxygen molecules, which is glomerulate. It's forming hematite on the moon.
It's really interesting. But here's one for you. I didn't share this article with you guys. But
that's rude.
Is well, I don't know if I could read the whole article. Was the problem? I don't know. But because it tied in with this moon theory. There's a massive deposit of something at the bottom of the moon. It's metal, but it's like huge. It's like the size of Hawaii, I think is what it said. Like that.
Huge.
Is that what it said? Yeah, it's huge. Like the islands of Hawaii, like that. That much mass that's inside the moon at the bottom of it. But we all know the moon is a space station that was put there, like, and it's all metal, and it's rusting because it's all metal. The moon is not a body. It rings like a bell when it's hit because it's metal and it's hollow.
Yeah, that was my immediate thought when I was like, damn, they didn't weather seal the outside of it good enough, and now it's starting to rust, and now if they go fix it, we're gonna know.
Yeah, like after so long, I mean, which I mean, what we consider rust, and it's been doing for how many thousands of years, so
yeah,
it's not that big of a deal. But we as humans, time to us is, like, oh, it's time's infinite, but we
only see very small pieces of it.
And time to other beings is not how we see time. But
hey, real quick.
Yep.
Does the moon it don't spin, right? It just stays. We only see one side at all times.
It always stays the same. We always see the same side of the moon.
Yeah.
I guess that's why they call one of the dark side.
Yeah. Yeah. It's static. So the entrance is on the dark side. But
okay.
Yeah. I don't know. But the whole thing is like they found this deposit. I'm just sitting there thinking, like, what if that is like the main base in it?
Rusted.
And they're really discovering it. But the plan is to send people back to the moon. And
why haven't they went back yet?
The claim was they lost the technology.
What the fuck? They lost the technology.
Like, all the things that were that they kept was lost. But
whoever lost the technology to get back to the moon, did they get fucking fired?
I think Yeti knows. Yeti, they don't go back to the moon. They lost the technology to go back to the moon. Correct? Is that what it was?
Well, the quote unquote the reason they don't go back to the moon is because what's the point? Because it's really fucking expensive. And we've already been there, so there's no real point in going back. Because the only reason we went to the moon in the first place was to show the Soviets that we could get there before they could.
Yeah, that's very true.
And also the reason that we don't go back is because, like, it's full. there's an entire civilization under the surface of the moon, or some say on the dark side of the moon that could be anywhere from like humans that have colonized a portion of the moon for later elites to move there, or it might be Nazis. I really doubt it's Nazis because they got South America. So like,
well, that's what I'm thinking. This deposit in the bottom of the moon is they're like, oh, it's massive, you know, and it's da da da. Well, it probably is massive, you know, because it's a fucking city.
yeah.
That's the size of, you know, the land, a massive land.
Fuck a duck.
Or that's the propulsion system for the moon to get it into place and to keep it weighted.
Yeah.
Hey, you think that's where Tupac is? Tupac and Biggie?
No.
I don't
Or maybe Jeffrey Epstein?
I think they're all dead.
Yeah, they're all in hell.
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm editing that out, damn it.
I mean, they're all dead, but
yeah, definitely.
but just I thought they lost the technology to it, or heard something that they lost.
I do not fucking understand how you lose the technology when we have better
because it was
technology
back
now
in
than
the
we did
time-
then.
It was back in a time where computers weren't, and as far as I mean the technology, I mean the data. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got it on video and shit, but computers weren't that great back then. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
filing systems weren't too good. And
Would they forget how to get there? They forget the coordinates?
I think the danger factor, we don't have anyone to race against. So they don't want to put people in that much danger and spend
Well,
that kind of money on it.
I know there's
Yeah.
plenty of people out there that are more than willing to try to go to the moon. They have
Yeah, but they have to have someone to pay for it, and NASA relies on the American people and the government
Yeah.
to give them money. And then once we reach the
Oh,
moon,
hey.
it's kind of like, fuck you, we're cutting your payment.
And they've had their budget cut recently, so I mean,
Yeah.
there's no
It's only been recently that the budget has been increased. to
Hey,
try to
all
get
they
back
have to
into
do is convince Elon Musk, and he'll do it. Somehow word it in a way where he would want to do it.
Well, they're just wanting space travel. They just want to put people into space so that they can make a shitload of money off of.
Well, there you go. You could send people to the moon, just make them pay a bunch of money.
Yeah, but you have to have qualified people to be able to land a lunar module. Which, granted, you probably have the technology now that you wouldn't have to have people to land it. But
Well, fuck yes, you
are
would.
you trusting Chad to fucking walk on the moon and not destroy the fucking the module that's landed on the moon?
or start a fucking international incident while he's up there insulting somebody.
Yeah,
I mean,
the old bro guy, because it would be the rich bro team.
Yeah. Some fucking frat boy.
Yeah, like his daddy has fucking billionaire money. I don't know anybody like this. I'm just going off stereotypes, people. I'm fucking stereotyping the hell out of someone.
So you listen.
An apple orchard to fucking invite his old lady too.
Do you think that if he was to see aliens, they would start a whole series like they did with bum fights? It'd be alien fights.
It'd be like Jake Paul would be up there.
Yeah.
And the other reason is they have these probes up there, right? But
yeah,
I have not once seen the fucking vehicles that the American government left, that NASA left on the surface of the moon. Why is there no pictures of this? If these fucking modulars, these lunar orbiters, are showing these detailed pictures of the moon, where's all the crafts that are on the moon? Where's all the...
Well, if some jabroni came and parked a fucking car on your roof, you'd want to get it off too, wouldn't you? I'd be like, hey, get your dune buggy off my roof, cocksucker.
Yeah, true. I mean, I guess the aliens could have taken it, but you know what I mean, though. Like, I'm not saying the lunar landing or whatever was a hoax. I believe it happened. I'm not one of them, but I still like photos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to see what they're killing.
It couldn't rust. So
There is a thing that they left up there that it's like a series of reflectors, and if you fire a powerful enough laser at it, it'll
Yeah.
send it back.
wouldn't that be dusty by now?
No, because the dust doesn't move. There's no.
Yeah, it does. When this article said that when it gets encapsulated by the magnetic field, that dust floats in the air sometimes. And I'm just saying,
Maybe they got like a shoe shine boy that goes out there and gives it a good buffing. No, sir, shine your lenses. Five pennies, sir. I'll shine the lenses right up. No, yes, sir.
Can we not be honest? Like, you could just have sent that up there with the orbiter. Like, you could have just like a satellite and just had it land there,
Yeah.
and no one would actually never had to place it themselves.
Yeah.
Because
20
if
minutes.
it's that massive of a thing, how did we build it up there? I don't know. I'm not trying to say that we didn't.
I'm sure it's like giant Legos.
Yeah, true. But anyways, it's just interesting to theorize on aliens being on the moon.
Hey, I'm gonna segue this one. Speaking of Russians, what about these nano batteries?
I don't know
'Cause
what
they're
that has
nuke-
to do with.
Because they're nuclear.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. That
Jonathan.
I was accidentally right.
Jim Jab for the win. Hey, field goal or a touchdown or basket
we'll
in.
give you that. We'll let you have it.
Okay.
This we talked about this on Instagram Live, so if you heard it there, Jim Jam wasn't able to save it, so I believe it's just really worth talking about.
Johnny.
But yeah, so I brought this in because I thought it was really interesting, and I want more people to hear about this. If you don't already know, a company called NDB, which is Nano Diamond Batteries. Yeah.
Short to the point.
Yeah, it's a California company. They're making batteries out of nuclear waste. And this battery can last up to from a decade to 28,000 years. This is freaking amazing. Like,
Yeah.
and their claim, and this is just getting started. Like, they've been working on this, but they've released this now to where their claim is it's a rechargeable battery. No, it's not even rechargeable because
It doesn't have to be charged.
Yeah, that's right. Duh. But if this thing can go into your cell phone, think about never having to charge it. And it uses a coating. There'll be it's indestructible coating that they claim. I mean, we don't know.
Nothing's indestructible, but I'm sure it's tough.
Yeah. And they're claiming that this battery could be cheaper than a lithium ion battery. But they're using this waste, which to me is great. And the impact this could have on Earth is amazing. Like, and now, and I'm not trying to get political here, like, just so we're clear, but the two major parties in America both accept nuclear power as an option.
Yeah.
So, and this hasn't happened in 70 years. They're not opposing each other for votes. Not trying to get political, but you always they pick sides, right?
Yeah.
But now they're both backing nuclear energy, and nuclear energy, the waste. There's just nothing you can do with it. Like, I'm not sure why they don't just send it into space toward the sun. I don't know how much that'd cost. I guess if the ship blew up and then nuclear waste would be everywhere. But I digress.
They got
Go ahead.
they got a dump somewhere in the desert. I watch it's a really great show. It's on Hulu. It's called Bullshit. Penn and Teller's Bullshit, and they do an episode on nuclear power, and they show like simulations of the trucks that haul the nuclear waste being like plowed by trains and set on fire and fucking all kinds of crazy shit. And the container holds up to just about everything. And they put all the rods down in this secure place in the desert that would be able to hold all the waste, but they have to have it approved and whatnot. And this is, it's a few years old, so it might be up and running by now. But yeah, I mean, it's a cleaner alternative.
The heart of each cell is a small piece of recycled nuclear waste. NDB uses graphite nuclear reactor parts that have absorbed radiation from nuclear fuel rods, and have themselves become radioactive. Untreated, it's high-grade nuclear waste, dangerous, difficult, and expensive to store, with a very long half-life. It has a half-life, which it still has energy, and we're just wasting it.
Yeah.
Like, you've got this toxic-ass material, and now we're figuring out a way to use it. You could put this in a vehicle, in electric vehicles, and it'll just run. And if a cell is damaged or goes bad, they can take this cell, replace it, and recycle the cell and reuse it.
Yeah.
This technology, to me, is the best thing that could happen to Earth as far as energy-wise goes. This is, what is it? It's not nuclear fission, but fusion.
Yeah.
The clean energy that they're looking for. Now, granted, it starts as a waste, but they're claiming they can remake this, that if they run out of this material, which apparently it's not the whole waste, so you still have waste from nuclear reactors and things.
Yeah.
But to me, living off the grid will be so much more stable and possible. You could have battery banks. You could have solar power and battery banks. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, it's amazing to me. Like, I find this to be just, the future looks fucking great with this technology.
It really does. And like,
Jim thought he turned his microphone on first, and he didn't. So we're just going to clear that up if you hear a dog and his wife.
Yeah, it's all good. But
and I'm going to message him right now, but go ahead, Yeti.
Also, like you said, you could put it in cars, you could power your house with it. And that could get us, if we switch to nuclear power and then we started using the waste to make these batteries, right? We would have less lithium ion in the environment. We could move away from fossil fuels like gasoline and coal. And I mean, it would be like a really good thing for the environment, but it would be a bad thing for the fossil fuel industry and a horrible thing for the fucking coal industry and the electrical fucking lobby. So like, it's going to have to fight through that. They'll find ways to push back against it. Anytime you have an industry that comes up that threatens an established industry that's got a bunch of money behind it, you're going to get pushback.
Sorry. Yeah, and that, and like you said, with all this, and we all know how the guy that created the carburetor that could run on water, you know what I'm saying? That he just disappeared. The car that could run on water or whatever. Yeah. What happened to that guy? Technology never came out.
Yeah, and then I'm sure. I'd be surprised if the people behind this nano diamond battery didn't end up dead in a duffel bag in their fucking shower.
Yeah, because if the power industry and a lot of places, like say where I live, there's one electric company, in my area. Like in some little smaller cities, they have their own, but they have to buy it off the Tennessee Valley Authority.
Yeah. I've seen like news articles of people who were like fined or jailed or like there was action taken against them because they didn't have power from the power company. They just had straight like off. They were trying to live off the grid, and the power company was like, "No, you can't do that." And then the local government was like, "Yeah, what they said."
And who's waving? Okay, that's weird.
Howdy.
But anyways, excuse me over here. But yeah, and now in Tennessee, just like in Tennessee, they don't want you to live totally off the grid because you can't even collect rainwater.
Yeah.
So, and then like you said, to be totally off the grid, they want you still to be connected to power. And to pay, like in some places, to pay a tax or a fee if you have solar power. Because they're not getting as much money as they used to. Well,
Yeah.
go fuck off and lower your costs. Like I understand linesmen get paid $26, $30, whatever dollars an hour because their job can be dangerous and they're very fucking important. They're very important. Cut your expenses somewhere else because all the executives that you have on this fucking board that are elected and get paid, you might want to cut their pay. They probably, you know what I'm saying? You might not need all of them. You can cut your costs somewhere else.
Maybe they don't need a new car this year. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
So, we're getting down a road that sorry. Get down a road that probably don't need to. But it just pisses me off because like electric bills keep getting higher and the cost of electricity keeps getting higher, but with more houses, you should be bringing in more money because you're not pulling any more power because the grid as itself, when it goes to the grid, it leaves. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't use all the power. I don't know. That's how I understand. I could be totally wrong. If someone knows more than I do, let me know. But this right here, to me, is just the technology that could improve life all over Earth. Because in these smaller areas that can't get electricity, that don't have the hydroelectrical power, you know what I'm saying? And in remote areas, you could build power banks and set up that could run along with solar power somehow, if that's possible. I don't know.
And think about this. You got a battery that holds charge for 200,000 years, or whatever you said, 28,000 years. It's a lot of it's a long time. Thousands of years. So you got a recording of like some like history and some daily life stuff, or even just like somebody's camcorder where they've recorded a bunch of stuff, digital camera with photos and stuff. It's just like a window. So later on, when that gets found, if it's not damaged, the power's still there, so they can just power it up and look at, oh, this is what people in the 21st century did. This is, and it's still, you don't have to worry about powering it with different, you don't have to worry about the because you can't plug in appliances from, that long ago. Shit changes, shit evolves. So, you've got this thing that's still powered and you can just look right into it. This is, because I know we keep digital records and records of everything that we're doing, but I mean, that could all go away, and but with something like this, you'd still have electronics that were powered, thousands of years in the future, and it would be, it wouldn't just be good for us, it'd be good for anthropology in the future, I think it's really fucking cool.
Yeah, because like you said, thousands of years from now, you could just bury it in a tomb, and then instead of looking at carvings on a wall, you just put one button on it.
Yeah.
They press the button, and it plays a video. You know what I'm saying? Or it plays a sound, and they can hear it.
Yeah.
And that would be, actually, I never thought about that.
That'd be wild.
Would be fucking amazing.
Right. Time capsules be bitching. It just be like a video screen. Just fold the capsule open and there's a video screen and just starts playing.
And then even like if you could make a battery big enough, and they're saying that they can make it any size. So I'm just thinking for myself, like a car, your cell phone, and a house. And when I say run it alongside solar, that way at nighttime, I don't know, you could have a smaller battery. Maybe you couldn't afford a massive one that could fully function your whole house.
Yeah.
But it could run the essentials at night, and then during the day, the solar power, you could use the battery banks for the solar power or whatever to run everything.
Or even just have it to run a couple of things, like even having conventional power in your house and then just having this diamond battery to run your AC or to run your water heater or something small.
A lot of power. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it just, or if you're still on the grid, like you said, you could run your smaller things like your TVs and fans, and then your major power gets pulled through that. Like it just, I don't know, man. Like, and when you get into space, they can have a battery put on their back to where the airflow is constant. They don't have to recharge it. They don't have to worry. They could have, lighting. They could have whatever that could be brought into space if it works in space. I don't know how that all works.
Yeah, I'm sure it would work in space, and you could have those. A few weeks ago, we talked about the trees that they're the quote unquote trees they're putting on Mars. So you could have one of those that's powered fully by this battery that's as far as humans are concerned, endless.
And think about like the Mars rovers. If you powered this son of a bitch instead of solar, like, dude, man, like the one rover died because it ended up in a dust storm, and all the panels got covered. It couldn't recharge and get out of a little pit. But oh man, like I'm just over here thinking about the future, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, why wasn't I born like 20 years after I was born? Like 2000, because the future for people now is just in 40 years, because I'm going to be 40 this year. This month is just like, man, it's going to be so much. It's going to propel so fast if we don't destroy it, of course. But
I mean,
story. But I don't know, man. It just really amps me up. You know what I'm saying? Like it just really gets me excited to think about what could be, and with this year and how this year is gone, and all the bullshit, it's just like, man, there's like a bright spot in the future,
Yeah, it's stuff like this that's making you go, oh man, this, and I feel like there's a lot of more time to think about stuff like this now. There's a lot more, because we move fast, but we've had the brakes put on over the past year. And a lot of people have,
And this could the poverty gap that people experience, what I'm saying? Like, as far as electricity goes, just like if cities could have power banks from this stuff to provide lower income areas with, it's just a benefit. Like if politicians couldn't get behind this, I don't know.
I mean, seriously, if you could power areas with this, you're spending $250 something a month on your utilities or whatever. Even if they still charge you, because it's supposed to be cheaper, $50-$60 a month. That's still a couple $100 extra in your pocket that you can put on your table, or you know what I'm saying?
To lower energy costs and energy usage. I mean, that's the goal anyways. Seems like. But anyway,
you'd think.
I'm excited for this. If you have suggestions out there, like what else it could be used for, just hit us up.
Man.
It just really gets me excited, like the future, just thinking about something like that. And these jetpacks, put one of them on a fucking jetpack. If you could power a jetpack battery like that, I don't know if you could. But still,
Yeah, I'm sure you could, and it would be lighter.
I mean, think about a drone.
Yeah.
It would fly forever.
Yeah, in the amount of you can make them smaller.
Yeah, but I mean, military-wise, though, it sucks because then they'd have military drones that could fly forever. But
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's a give and take.
yeah. You got to lose some to get some.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. You win some, you lose some. You gotta.
give and take,
Yeah, it's a give and take. You gotta be.
And here's my thing though: did the government give this technology to them?
I
Because
don't know.
the government didn't have. You know how they always say they're 10 years ahead?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's like where did it come from?
yeah, like they just come up with it. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, that's another
Yeah.
conspiracy theory that we can talk about, maybe. But let's move forward with is it Fort Hood serial killer?
Yeah.
Is that the
Yeah,
rumor
well-
that's spread? I haven't
Well,
heard anything about this, so this is new to me, or I might have, but I don't remember.
There's been this year alone. There's been several deaths connected to Fort Hood. Like a lot of them were like there were some suicides and a vehicle accident, and then there was like some combat deaths overseas and shit. So like you see the like 26 or something, but it's not really. I mean, yeah, all those matter, but what I'm kind of focused on is just like 8 that have been found dead on and around Fort Hood, and of course there was the specialist Julian. Earlier this year, she was a female who was murdered on base, and then the guy who killed her and some woman took her and hit her body, and that dude ended up brandishing a weapon at investigators and then killing himself. And the woman is actually doing time for conspiracy to hide a body or some shit. But all these others, there's a couple of dudes that were found in their apartments with gunshot wounds. There's one that was found dead in his apartment with 2 other dudes. They'd all been, it looked like somebody just walked in and gunned everybody down. There was one guy who was found in a lake. They said he was drowned. It's just, and I did a little bit of research on it, and I kind of read what some veterans had to say about Fort Hood, and apparently it's kind of the projects of Army bases. Like, because there was a few years ago there was a huge mass shooting. I think he killed 8 people, wounded 36. There have been drive-by shootings on the base. I've heard allegations of like a prostitution ring going on. It's just like a hive of debauchery. Like when this last soldier was found dead, top brass at Fort Hood was relieved of his command position because there's some sort of investigation going on. But I don't know, man. I just wonder if there's not something going on there with all these deaths. It just seems like a lot, you know? And I understand you're going to have suicides and you're going to have vehicle accidents and you're going to have combat deaths overseas. And people are going to die. But like, there's been a bunch this year alone that have been either murdered or, whatever. And also while I was looking at what they were talking about with, basically it was a post about the latest one they found. He was found drowned in a lake. His name was Elder Fuentes. And a lot of the deaths are, not all of them, but a good portion of them are Hispanics as well. So there's that. But Like it was it was this like semi-internet famous vet that I follow on Instagram, and there's a lot of people. Hi, Tucker.
Yeah. Dude, he's
there-
been messing with me.
There's people in the comments that are vets who are talking about this and that, talking about their experiences at Fort Hood and how bad it was there and how just buck wild shit was. And then they were talking about how there are several, like a dozen people who the different families have reached out to media outlets saying that, hey, I called Fort Hood looking for my folks, and they were listed as AWOL. So you have these 8 deaths already, and then you have a dozen people listed as AWOL, and their families are looking for them.
That is weird.
So it's like, Texas is a horrible fucking place anyway, but
I wouldn't label all of Texas a horrible fucking place. Oh wait, you're from Oklahoma.
yeah,
So,
I was about to say
Never mind. I forgot. There's a little bit of a rivalry there.
yeah, a little bit. You know why Oklahoma stays on the map where it is? It's because Texas sucks and Arkansas blows, and it keeps us right there center.
I guess it's good to clarify that. Gary's from Oklahoma. Oh, me, dude. I never heard that one. Texas sucks and Arkansas blows. I've never heard that, dude. Oh, man. But it's so funny, the interstate rivalries that people have. The fuck Texas. Like,
yeah, here it's like fuck Florida.
Yeah, it is. But I think that's every place that's in the South. Fuck Florida.
I think that's everywhere.
Yeah. Because I do want to go to Texas just because I'd like to visit. But anyways, sorry. Oh, man, my cheeks hurt.
As you can
there's
tell,
there's an article. You can look this up on stripes.com. Holy crap, dude. This is crazy. Like, I didn't know anything about this, but there's a lot of people disappear from there.
Yeah.
I just Googled Fort Hood deaths. That's all you got to Google. And, man. So, serial killer, is that what they're thinking? Or is there...
I haven't really seen anybody really go in depth on it, but I wonder if it's going to come out that way.
Or military cover-up. More
Maybe.
likely. But apparently, there's strip clubs, which any kind of base, there's money on a base. You got all these guys there, and they might be away from their ladies, and then on the outside of the base in other little towns, people set up shops that will provide for young men.
Or they're away from their families, or they're fresh out of high school young bucks who are just
so like there's needs and people will meet those needs.
and
And the military isn't any different. The people that are there that are still humans. Drugs. I mean, people get addicted. They get pain medication. Is like one of the opiates are one of the worst fucking thing that have happened to America.
Yeah, agreed.
Doctors will used to just prescribe the living fuck out of them and think that they weren't addictive and kill people, but they do. And that's another issue that should be addressed by the government. That, anyways.
Well, they kind of have like my wife works for a prescription benefits manager, so she deals with stuff like this. Like the FDA or the DEA, it's probably the DEA. They limit the amount of raw material, like base chemical that can be produced for medications. So like I think it was last year, or year before, it was coming toward the end of the year, and you couldn't get like roxycodone anymore because there were all of it that was legal to manufacture in America had been manufactured and dispersed. Like they've put a limit on how much could be
Think about how much that is.
Yeah,
Because I mean, I've been with someone, and I've known people that have taken pain medication, and some people believe that pain medication is made to get rid of all your pain. So you
It
just
is
take
not.
no, it is not, and you're supposed to do physical therapy because, like I say, I was close to someone that's not a family member, but they were told you need to do physical therapy, and pain medication is to just get you by for the day, but your physical therapy should help with the rest of it. Would not listen, wouldn't do the physical therapy, and only wanted pain medication. So that didn't go over well.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Ooh,
Jim, if you're just watching, came back and he's sweaty.
it's hot as fuck outside, y'all. We in Tennessee here. That's
Dude, I got my
there's
windows open.
there's moisture in the air outside on top of that fucking godforsaken sun. It toasted my
actually
fat
had
ass.
My windows open. I had my windows open, so I woke up at 3:40 this morning. So I've been up since about then. But I opened my windows up about 5 something, and went and walked for about a mile, and come back and had my windows open. Took a 3-hour nap. 2-3 hour nap. And it feels pretty decent in my place. But
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to go ahead and wrap it up because
we
we
need to
got.
wrap it up anyways. We
Yeah.
appreciate y'all listening. Make sure you go subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have videos that go up a lot. Jim Jam does some reaction stuff to music if you like that.
Hey, whoa! Not only Jim, us three as well. Every now and then, we got to
Yeah.
say that too. And we do
Yeah,
a lot of bluegrass now. We're doing and it seems to be going very well.
You do some bluegrass.
Well, yeah, but some
anyway.
Nickelback.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Go subscribe there. We're trying to get to 1,000. It would be nice because, as you know, YouTube can't put ads up or anything unless you got 1,000 subscribers. I imagine they'll change that to 10,000 eventually.
Yeah.
Hey, right as we get to 1,000, they'll change it.
Yeah. Hit up the merch page on TeePublic. We got some cool designs. We got some Halloween designs on there. Not like the franchise, but
The holiday, not the movie.
yeah, the holiday. Get excited for that. And, just thanks for listening. If you stuck around this long, we appreciate you. If you could subscribe to our Patreon if you would like to donate some money and help us out even more. We greatly appreciate that.
Thanks to our current ones.
Yes. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Wes. We greatly appreciate you. It helps out a lot. And that's all we got, guys. So take care.
Take care, y'all.
Y'all take care now.